All right, so 5.1 number 5 says state the period for each periodic function in degrees and in radians, and then sketch. Okay, so the period. All right, well, what we need to remember is this. The period, or period length, for anything for sine and for cos is going to be 2 pi over the b value. So the b value, if you remember, comes from this. Y equals a sine b x minus c plus d, right? So here's the b value. And that is the one that indicates whether we have a period length that is greater than 2 pi or less than 2 pi. Because when b is 1, the period length for sine and cos is 2 pi. So the period length here depends upon b. So if we're looking at a, y equals sine of 4 theta, b is 4. So the period length for a is 2 pi over 4, which is pi over 2. Okay? Because this is larger than 1, the period length is going to be shorter. So consider this. This is what your sine function normally looks like. Okay, 2 pi. But for this one, it's actually pi over 2. So the period length looks like this. It looks pretty funny, okay, but it's really squished up. That's the period length. Another way to think about this is this. This is really important too. This might help you understand. When b is 4, you can think about there are actually four sine waves that can fit in a normal period length. So watch this. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's another way of looking at it. You can look at it that way as well. There's one block, there's a second block, a third block, and a fourth block of sines. Okay? And so there we do. We identified the period length, and we did a graph. And you can just do one period for the graph. All right, so let's do C then as well. So C, when we have a b value of 2 over 3, the period length, remember, is 2 pi over b. So the period length is 2 pi over 2 over 3, which is the same as multiplying by 3 over 2. So the 2's will cancel out, and you have a period length of 3 pi. So remember, when b is between 0 and 1, it's stretched out horizontally. Okay? Now let's go back to this original graph that I started with here. I'm going to try and take away just the yellow ones. Oh, shoot, I took away the red as well. I'm going to try not to do that. Let me see if I can sneak that. Okay. So here is our normal period length, right? Well, I'll use blue. So 3 pi. So there's 1 pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, okay? So really, from here, 3 pi, 1.5 pi, really, or here, would be halfway. So the amplitude hasn't changed, just the period length. So we're still reaching a maximum, okay? We're reaching a maximum of 1. So it's going to be looking kind of like this, right? Down through there, and a minimum of 1 as well to there. So it's just pulled out, it's stretched out by a factor of really 3 over 2, right? Okay, so let's see.